Glad to have you join us on this week's edition of the program, Deltascope. Deltascope is a weekly magazine program on television that plays host to economic, social, and political stakeholders in Delta State. On Deltascope, we get our guests to talk to us about their personal contributions, what they think about government policies and programs, and profile solutions on the way forward in building a stronger and better Delta State, a model of democratic governance in Nigeria. This week on the program, our guest is a very vibrant politician, one who has held various positions at the state legislature. She is a member of the Delta State House of Assembly, representing Oshimili North local government. Honorable Dr. Princess Pat Ajudua. She has been re-elected as the member representing Oshimili North constituency at the Delta State House of Assembly. Well, what our crew brought back from Honorable Dr. Princess Pat Ajudua will amaze you. She tells you some very personal things that you never would have thought about. Let's go over now to our crew members as we bring you what we brought from our interview with our great guests.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. But going through your, would I say you're a woman of means? No, you're not just a legislator. You're a lawyer, fourth secondary degree, and I know you're pursuing your doctorate now. You have a doctorate.
Yes.
So can I rewind and say Dr. Mrs. Congratulations. Yes. So, and this is what we're saying now. Most of us don't know you from that angle. And we know you're a legislator. What other part of you do you think we should know about?
My spiritual aspect. I'm a God-loving woman. I love God sincerely from the bottom of my heart. By the grace of God, I serve God on a daily basis. I wake up early in the morning, as early as 4:30. Before 6 a.m., I'm already dressed like this and right in my chapel. We start praising God, worshiping God. We read the Bible. We use the daily devotional given to us by the First Lady, the Open Heaven, and then Rema for Living, which is the daily devotional of Apostle Johnson Suleiman of the Omega Fire Ministry. We use those two every morning. We study the Bible, we praise God deeply, we pray to God, and by 7:30, we're done in my private altar. So, I love God.
You love God, man. Would I say that's where your inspiration came from? I mean, is that where your inspiration is coming from? Because you are a member of the International Women Law Association.
Yes,
yeah, you are one time secretary to MBA, Port Harcourt.
Financial secretary.
Financial secretary. There's so much about it. So is that where the inspiration is coming from?
Yes, definitely inspiration is coming from God. Yes. And when you have God on your side, everything you put your hand into, it works for good.
Okay. Now let's look at. Okay, you're also the principal partner of Ajudua Legal Outfit. Yes. How do you blend all this of you? I mean, you're a woman of many parts.
Yeah, the legal aspect, of course, you know, as a legislator, I can't be going to court. So that is being handled by other lawyers in the chambers. So legislature is what I am facing at the moment, combining it with the service and worship of God on a daily basis.
Okay. Now, this is about your fourth time?
It is my fourth time.
Your fourth time now. And so, why is that so? I mean, you're seated there, you've passed several, you've sponsored several bills, you've supported several motions as well.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm sure if you look through the house, you'll be very active, from being a minority leader to now the chief whip.
Yes.
And I'm sure when you resume, I don't know what you're going to become.
God knows.
You know, those energy and all that for 16 years, what would you say you have achieved
In the house?
in the house? Now, we're looking at the house now. The bills you sponsored.
Yes, I've sponsored several bills. The cancer bill, the sickle cell bill, the bill on women's rights, the bill on agriculture, the one on statistical bill, and several of our other bills. Of course, more than 10. I have been very active if you follow my record in the house. Yes. And then in terms of motions, we have sponsored several motions actively too. And then when it comes to contributions on the floor of the house, I'm very active. And so legislatively, I am. Yeah,
legislatively you're very hyper. Yes. You know, I mean, there's no day that goes on without you being heard, especially now you're the chief whip. Yes. Okay. Your bills tilt towards, going to your bills sponsored, they tilt towards humanity.
Yes.
Women, children, health, and all that. Is there a reason for that?
Well, my husband and I and our followers, we are great philanthropists, and we're people-oriented, you know, personalities. So whatever we do, it is people-oriented. That's why the caption in our logo, you'll see God's project, which is God first, and then service to humanity. Yes. As you can see here, God's project is at the top, then service to humanity. So we have that consciousness that everything we're doing is by the grace of God, and then secondly, it is service to humanity. So when you're serving humanity, you talk about their welfare, talk about their health, talk about everything that concerns them. I'm not there in the Delta Sales Assembly to serve myself or to serve my family, but humanity. And so that is what we represent.
When I read about you, it's like I'm reading about 10 women, but it's just one woman. Is it okay for you to tell us your political philosophy, how you, because, madam, I mean, come on, 16 years, people say come back. What's the magic?
Like lawyers will say, it's a case of res ipsa loquitur. Meaning is an Italian phrase, meaning the thing speaks for itself. Your character, your conduct, your service to humanity speaks for itself. And there's also nemo da quod non habet. You can't give what you don't have. If you don't have the spirit of giving, you cannot give. So we have a human feeling, and by the grace of God, we're living up to it.
Is that what the people from the Shimeli has keyed into?
Well, I think so. First and foremost, I think it is God's grace. Then secondly, they always remember that we have been nice to human beings. And then that's why you find out that in the midst of difficulty, God will, with one finger, deliver people like me. Because when we went into the election, it was one finger, the finger of God, that brought me out. And so I give him the glory. That is why you find out that I cannot stop serving God on a daily basis. I'm not talking about Sunday, on daily basis. Before I take my breakfast, before I drink water, before I do anything, I must go and worship God for at least 1.5 to 2 hours before anything. So it is not easy, but it is a covenant. It has become a covenant.
At what point did you decide to go into politics? In your life, I mean, if I know, I've known you for a while. You're doing very well in fashion. You know, doing very well in the fashion industry. In fact, as far back as 1988, you had an office in New York. Am I correct?
Not an office. Well, somehow I was always going for exhibition. Yeah. I
mean, from far back of 1988, you've been doing exhibition internationally. So for fashion, you're doing very well. Some people will not want to leave that fashion, what we're doing, and get into politics. Then you became a lawyer. Then you're very active in the law and in the legal circle. You know, like I said before, you're on a lot of international bodies. At what point did you decide, okay, now I'm going to politics?
As a matter of fact, sometime in the year 2000, with my husband, and he just tapped me at about 5 a.m. and said, Mommy, get up from the bed, kneel down, I want to pray for you. I said, what's going on? He said, kneel down. I want to pray for you because I want you to go into politics. Yes. I said, why? He said, you have served me so well, you have been wonderful, you have been good, and I want a payback. I want to pay you back. I want to say thank you to you. I said, are you sure? He said, yes. I said, but I was thinking you're the one that will go into politics. He said, no. So I knelt down, he put his right hand on my forehead and prayed for me and said, go into politics. I said, where will I start from? He said, I should go and start from River State. I said, why River State? If you know you don't want to marry me again, tell me. Let me go my way, because I mean, why will you want me to? He said he knows what he's doing. I should go and start in River State. So I moved as an obedient wife. I joined he took me around, handed me over to Peter Odili, the governor then, and then the wife, and then the national woman leader, Mrs. Baisa, Mrs. Josephine Aneni, went with me, and then introduced me to everybody in politics. The late Dikibo handed me over, and then after that, he now took me to Abuja, in the home of Professor Azinge, SAN, and the wife, Barrister Mrs. Azinge, SAN. Handed me over to them and said they should teach me politics. So I lived with them for like a year.
Learning politics?
Learning politics. By then, Mrs. Azinge just lost her senatorial bid, and then she took me around. We toured around the whole Nigeria politicking. Sometimes when we get to her, she will say, stand up and speak. Just say something about River State. I'll stand up, I'll speak. Then when we go to some functions, when the place is crowded, she just use her big bomb, push. As soon as she push, she will say, Princess, come. I will move and follow. So, I mean, I learned it, and then when election time came, I went and vied I wanted to go for Senate. Along the line, I was campaigning everywhere, making moves. My husband just called me and said, well, if they call you and ask you to step down for House of Reps, don't say no. Go ahead. I said, why are you saying so? I said, he said, I have told you. Lo and behold, after some time, they called me, well, this, that, I should go for reps. I accepted because a voice, my husband had spoken to me. Then I campaigned thoroughly. Then it was a AMPP. Myself and Sergeant Awuse, that was a governorship candidate. We went around, did everything, but of course, you know, PDP and River State then. They did what they did. Along the line, we went to campaign at Ndoni. They arranged, capsized the boat, and we all were dumped in the Atlantic Ocean. And then some of the, of the supporters came and lifted Awuse from the water, lifted me. By then, my dear, it's a long story. So they brought us, we swallowed water. Shoes lost, but before then I had given my walking stick to my ADC. So when we got there, all I had was walking stick. The kola nut I had, everything fell into the water, shoe into the water, so we came out. My hairstyle then was different from this one, but something like this. They were just divided into 4. Soaked with water, and so water was dripping from my nose, mouth, everywhere. As Buse said, we must go for the campaign. We came out of the water and still went for the campaign, and after that, we went back. So when the election came, I actually won that election. But my opponent in PDP, Honorable Olaka Nwogu, did all he did, rigged me out of the race, poured acid in my vehicles, the buses, and of course, that was how it went. So after that one, I told my husband, he said I should get ready for another one by 2007 election. I said, if it's to that River State, I am not going back. if you don't want to marry again, you say. He said, okay, I should return to Ibuzo now. So I came back I came to Ibuzo. We started, by the grace of God. Here we are. That was how it started. Yes. Because it's not everybody you see that you know, when people talk, they don't know what they're talking. It's my husband that put me in politics.
Okay. Okay. The journey so far.
The journey so far, it's been good, sweet, pleasant, because it's been from one victory to the other, and I give God the glory. Here I am, winning again for the 4th term, Delta State House of Assembly.
Ma, you told us your story, I mean, how you got into politics, and since then, we thank God for His grace upon your life. Now, what has been your low side in politics?
Low?
Yeah.
When God is on your side, you can't be as low as wanting to say no. Unless God speaks to you to say, don't go this way again, go that way. And then it will be very clear. But outside that, no.
Right. Your high points in politics?
High points. Everything about my political life is high. Because I am hyperactive in politics. So everything is high.
Okay. Now you're on your 4th term. What is coming again in the next 4 years from your box of legislation?
For these 12 years, a lot of bills, a lot of motions. Of course, if there are new bills needed by humanity, by the people of Delta State, I will sponsor more. A lot of infrastructural developments have taken place within this period. I made sure that all the 10 wards of Oshimle North felt my impact. Every ward has an examination hall. Every ward has schools constructed and renovated, street lights in all the wards. And so, we have done enough. And well, not really enough. We have done so much in terms of infrastructural development. This time around, at least 50 to 60% of what I will want to do will be human capital development. Because having done all these things, we need to empower our people so that they can stand on their own and put food on the table. I think that would be my major focus in these next 4 years.
I see you have a deep passion for philanthropy. Can we just ask?
Well, even before we came into government, every indigene of Ibuzo in all the universities in Nigeria, they won scholarship. The young men that were growing, that needed to marry, my husband made sure, if you're of marriageable age and you're not married, he will just give you 500,000 naira and say, go and fix a date, I'm coming to chairman your marriage. And when we're going, we go with the Espiro to give to the person. We encourage those who didn't have houses to build houses and all that. That is before politics. And now that we came into politics, we're still doing the same.
At the end of the day, what would you want to be remembered for?
Well, first and foremost, I'll be remembered for my humility, my philanthropy, my love and passion for God. I'll be remembered for the bills sponsored in the house, touching, that is people-oriented bills. I'll be remembered for my vibrancy in the house and activeness. I'll be remembered for my special, fashionable style.
That is given.
And several other things, and the things I have put on ground by the grace of God.
Okay. So, I want to round up now. how do you cook this soup of a wife, a mother, a legislator, a philanthropist, an evangelist? On the secret, how do you achieve? How do you cook this soup?
Whenever you think about me, always remember I am God's project. And when you are God's project, every impossibility becomes possible. You are able to combine many things. At the end of the day, you won't even know how you did it. As you're sitting down, you're thinking different things and getting different answers. And so that's why the people around me, they are very good. Because when I say, do this, do this, do this, they help me. You know, all this credit you're giving to me is not me alone. I have leaders that I'm working with. Some of them are seated here. They are all first-class brains. And so when you just give them one idea, they work. And the ideas they give to me, I work with them. And then all my staff, both in the office and home and everywhere, it is a team, a powerful team that God has put together to be victorious all the time.
You said when you were sinking, you gave your staff of office to somebody.
Before we entered.
Yes, I mean, I noticed that you always carrying this stuff. Yeah. Tell me tell us the significance of this stuff.
This stuff, first and foremost, when I was in secondary school, I was made to act the part of a young man. And so they wore me a cap, white shirt, and then tied George wrapper under. And then they gave me some script to recite. And I was reciting, and then they gave me walking stick. And then I was saying, the toe does not jump in the daytime for nothing. That's part of the script. So when I finished, I found myself using walking stick even before I began to nurture the consciousness of being a princess. And so from there, with the princessly feeling, I started carrying walking stick right from that tender age until I graduated to customizing it to my face. This is my own image. This one you're seeing, that's my face, that's me. It took photograph of me and my hair, took it to Italy, molded it, and then produced these customized sticks in different colors that I'm using. So it's been almost 40-something years, right when I was about 12, 13 years till now. And now I'm 56. So you can just say about 40-something years.
Okay, well, thank you very, very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate for the time. And hopefully, I wish you the best. Like you said, you're God's project. Yes, and once you're God's project, that supersedes any other thing. Okay. Thank you very much for coming.
Great. Honorable Dr. Princess Pat Ajudua. What else can we say? She's told us so much that we needed to know. And I know that a lot of you are convinced and liking her the more. Now she's been re-elected to represent the good people of Oshimili North constituency at the Delta State House of Assembly for 4 consecutive times. So you can imagine what the people will feel, the much development that will come to that constituency. Well, it is on this note we'll wrap up Deltascope on TV this week. On behalf of everyone who made this week's edition wonderful, we say a big thank you. Meantime, for your comments, observations, and suggestions, please, you can reach us on our various social media platforms as displayed on your screen. We so look forward to having you join us again on Deltascope on television. Remember, together we are building a greater and stronger Delta State. You can be a great stakeholder to help in the development of Delta State. Until we come your way again, on behalf of the producer and the production team, this is Onome Yaruwe. Thank you very much for joining us. Bye-bye.